you see them walking down, picking up the sidewalk, acting like they can whip everybody. Sure, they can whip somebody who looks just like them, because that's permitted. Permitted by whom? The white supremacists. They don't care. Kill everybody in the neighborhood. So what? There's another black neighborhood gone. There's another one down the street, ready to go. What's the big deal? You better be careful about whose space you get into when you get carried away with what you can do to other black people. And what's pitiful about it is most of us know that. Very few of us don't know that. We know whose space to get into. And we know just about how much backing we have.
Shame. Shame.
Black person in handcuffs. All kinds of tattoos. All kinds of long record for being able to whip everybody since ninth grade. Standing there in handcuffs in an orange jumpsuit in his best hairdo saying, "Yes, Your Honor." Why don't you use the kind of language toward Your Honor that you use with the people that you encounter right there in your neighborhood? The one that you say that you're a master over. The one that you can terrorize. All the females flocking to you and halfway scared of you. Knock them around all over the place. Call them all kind of names. Why don't you call Your Honor that same name? Snatch him from behind the bench. No. See, we're great show people. Greatest show people on earth. 3 9mm, one in your sock, one in your waistband, one in your side pocket. Ready to take on the entire world in a movie. In a homemade video. Or passing a bus stop full of black people fixing to go to work. Or you can terrorize them. Why don't you take on the champ? Which usually is just 1 or 2 white supremacists who just come and say, "Now, I think you'd better behave because you're disturbing my peace. Now, if you don't think I can handle you, try me." And I haven't been on this planet forever, but I've never seen a situation on a large scale, or never heard of one on a large scale, of any significance throughout the history of the black male, because that's who I'm talking about, who didn't chicken out in a moment of real crisis. So I don't want to hear it in this stalwart Black History Month about that all-powerful black male. Because I've seen our record, particularly in the last, I'll say, just in this area of the world, 60 years. And we've had a few who did things the way that they ought to be done. They protested in the street. They carried signs. They talked about non-justice. Martin Luther King, people like that. Fannie Lou Hamer, as a black female, backing up black males who got out there and tried to do something that made sense, rather than just terrorize the neighbors. And that's doing what we're supposed to do from the weak position that we have. Only time we show all this bravery is when we are mistreating are the victims of racism. For the most part, some exceptions. Nelson Mandela, exception. Martin Luther King, exception. Malcolm X, exception. A substantial list, but well spaced. Well spaced. All those black males in between, usually the ones who are doing hard time, if you look at what they are charged with, most of it is mistreating, whether they're guilty or not, but most of it is for mistreating other prisoners of war, the race war, people that look like themselves, can't stand themselves and want to kill everything that looks like them and laugh about it and call it an accomplishment. Now, I harp on this because this is one thing that should be real passe. As they say in the hip-hop culture, I think they call it whack. That's really whack. I think that's what they call it. Makes no sense at all and has been embraced in every generation. Didn't just start. As far back as I can remember. Black male carrying the Saturday night razor. I'm going to cut me somebody before the night's over. Oh, yeah. Who are you going to cut? Who are you going to cut, Jimmy? Who are you going to cut, Mac? Well, I'm going over to the dance hall. Who's in the dance hall, Mac? I'm going to cut me somebody who breaks bad over at the dance hall. Who is it that's going to break bad in the dance hall, Mac? Somebody that looks like me. Somebody I probably went to school with before I dropped out. And they dropped out. So we meet up 18 years later. And we slash each other to death in the alley. And that's supposed to be a big deal and the purpose for being on the planet. Now, there are millions of black people who think just like that. And they are not all just in this area of the world. They are south of here, in places like Brazil. They look forward to that kind of foolishness. It's an old black tradition while we're talking about black history. That's a huge part of black culture. It needs to stop, and it needs to stop as of tonight. We need to do some thinking and then say enough of that. Been there, done that. Forget it. No more gang tattoos. I mean, who are we fooling? Who can we really whip? A very limited number of people. And certainly nobody who is smarter and more powerful than we are, particularly somebody who is really an army. A system of white supremacy. You know anything about taking that on? No, nothing. Zero. Better start tap dancing.
Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you are dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
Man, he wants you to remain a boy. He wants you to remain a lackey. He wants you to remain dependent on him. He wants you to come looking to him for some kind of advice or some kind of teacher. No, you teach yourself and stand up for yourself and respect yourself and know yourself and defend yourself and be yourself, and you'll be recognized as an intelligent person.
Whites can help us, but they can't join us. There can be no black-white unity until there is first some black unity. We cannot think of being acceptable to others until we have first proven acceptable to ourselves. Concerning nonviolence, it is criminal to teach a man not to defend himself when he is the constant victim of brutal attacks. There are problems in the community. Some of those examples of those problems are the vices that destroy the moral fiber in our community. Drunkenness, drug addiction, prostitution, organized crime that robs the Negro community of probably 90% of its economic potential and moral potential.
Once you change your philosophy, you change your thought pattern. Once you change your thought pattern, you change your attitude. Once you change your attitude, it changes your behavior pattern. And then you go on into some action. As long as you got a sit-down philosophy, you'll have a sit-down thought pattern. And as long as you think that old sit-down thought, you'll be in some kind of sit-down action. They'll have you sitting in everywhere. It's not so good to refer to what you're going to do as a sit-in. Then right there, it castrates you. Right there, it brings you down. What goes with it? Think of the image of someone sitting. An old woman can sit. An old man can sit. A chump can sit. A coward can sit. Anything can sit. Well, you and I have been sitting long enough, and it's time today for us to start doing some standing and some fighting to back that up. I'm no politician. I'm not even a student of politics. I'm not a Republican, nor a Democrat, nor an American, and got sense enough to know. I'm one of the 22 million black victims of the Democrats. One of the 22 million black victims of the Republicans, and one of the 22 million black victims of Americanism. And when I speak, I don't speak as a Democrat or a Republican, nor an American. I speak as a victim of America's so-called democracy. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. If you go to jail, so what? If you're black, you were born in jail. If you black, you were born in jail.
Because I think you believe in the God who created the universe, and that's the one we believe in, the one who created the universe. The only difference being, you call him God, and we call him Allah. Jews call him Jehovah. If you could understand Hebrew, you probably call him Jehovah too. If you can understand Arabic, you probably call him Allah. But since the white man, your friend, took your language away from you during slavery, the only language you know is his language, your friend's language. So you call for the same God he calls for. When he's putting a rope around your neck, you call for God, he calls for God. And you wonder why the one you call on never answers you.
The slave master took time and dressed him well and fed him well, even gave him a little education, a little. Education. Gave him a long coat and a top hat. And he used
use Tom to control them. The same strategy that was used in those days is used today. Negro and make him prominent, build him up, publicize him, make him a celebrity, and then he becomes a spokesman for Negro and a Negro leader.
Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? Y'all thought Keith was here today. It's your brother, Mr. X. My share screen was stopped for a second. I don't know why. The devil is busy, as my grandmother says all the time. And I say, yes, Grandma, you are right. You know when your grandmother used to say the devil is busy, they was talking about some fictional devil that lived underneath the ground. We know who the devil really is. And he's the devil every day. What's up, y'all? Surprise show. I know y'all thought y'all was going to hear your brother Keith. I know I let you down. I'm sorry. Every now and then, you know, the network is open. Just, hey, man, let me just do a live right quick. Let me just see what the people is saying. Let's see how the people feeling. Get on for a little bit. It won't be the 6-hour marathon show we had a couple of days ago. You dig? Check that out. We were just chatting, man. We gave it all we had. 6 hours. For 6 hours, we was getting it in. And then, did I go to work later on that day? No, I didn't. I didn't go to work. I passed out. I passed out. I want to say about 10 o'clock. My wife came in, and I'm heavy. I gained about 50 pounds since college. That was about 17 years ago. Like, you ever measure your weight? You know, when you was in grade school, middle school, high school, if you went to college, grad school, for my intellectuals out there, went and got your degree, you remember how fit and strong you was, or maybe you were very slender and you know, muscular and whatnot. A little taste. 3 daughters. I keep having children. I keep having girls. So it's like, I guess I got to get bigger, you know, to be that opposing force. It's kind of like, you know, all these dudes are going to come to my house. I pick on my daughters. I'm telling you that. I do my daughters dirty now. Pick on them now. All the dudes they're going to bring in my house. Because it's like, it's going to be a swarm of niggas just around my house. You know what I mean? So I just got to prepare for that. And I'm dreading that day. So I pick on them now, you know. All new fathers, you got young daughters, pick on them now. Get your shots in now. Because they're going to bring home some dirtbag dude. That's a coon. And he got a little swag. And it's going to be skin tight by the time our children get to teenagers. I mean, skin tight now. What I'm talking about, man, it's going to be like one and the same with your actual skin. You feel me? And then, what's going to happen is, and you can be like, who in the hell are you? And you're going to have to do an Uncle Phil to that motherfucker. You're going to have to throw that motherfucker out your house, Uncle Phil style. Ah! You know, You know, your daughter gonna be mad at you and shit. Yeah. I love him, daddy. Why you throw him out? I love him. You don't know what love is. You don't know that dude. Does he got pants on? His pants blend in with his skin. I mean, what's going on in the world? Because we're gonna be stuck in like 20th century. Who knows what the next 10 or 15 years is gonna look like? I'm afraid there ain't gonna be no damn planet, man. Man, you see how bad these devils are tearing shit up, which is forcing people to tear shit up in response to the shit tearing up that they doing, man. So I don't know. If you ask me to look into the future, I just see, I just see war, man. I just see war. But I ain't here to talk about that right now. I don't know if y'all know this, man, but Kamala Harris is a freak. I mean, some of y'all knew that. Yeah, I knew she was a bastard of a woman, but we're going to divulge in a little bit some of the policies and stuff that she deals with, and the people she used to screw with, man. Now you can learn a lot about people by the people they mess with, right? You're dealing with a particular individual that you see that they hang around certain people of ill repute. Most of the people on the planet have some level of ill repute. There's no perfect people on the planet. There's no real Jesuses, the perfect deity that they had put in physical form in the sacred text that you all read daily. Um, he does not exist, okay? But we have been given the Jesus template. And so that every man that we see, whether he be white or black, whatever ethnic persuasion he is, the male template is Jesus. Walk on water, do no wrong, perfect credit, $20,000 in the bank as of right now, but that's light. You know what I'm saying? Six-figure job. No, it's a damn pandemic. Hundreds of thousands, millions of jobs have been lost, but your template has not been adjusted to the new way of life. The template is staying the same. Well, that guy don't exist. So everybody you know is gonna have some ain't shit in their closet. Now, when you're someone of high office, it changes a little bit. Like you really gotta watch who you around and who you made deals with. And see, from the black perspective, we say, okay, we understand this is business and everything is military science. I call it wartime teachings, right? Everything we do is about liberation. Everything we do is about African empowerment. This woman is 0.25% Jamaican. All right, his father's Jamaican. We've established that, right? But she lived like a white woman. We know about the classism in the Caribbean. We know about the Caribbean islands. We know about the racial caste system, the colorism that was there, connected to resources, people who were connected to whom they were connected to, so on and so forth. And so when you live in that realm, then you got one entity that's racist against dark black skinned people, and then you got another entity of you, the male part and the female part. One is Indian and white and everything else, and they all hate niggas. And then the brother is Jamaican, who's one of those classes Negroes um, who hated black people and lower class Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? Then you have a spawn of Satan, basically, is what you have created. And these are the people that they look for, brothers and sisters. No different than when white officers get jobs down here in the black community. They keep saying, "Give us black teachers, give us black cops, give us black cops." They say, "Nah, we're gonna keep giving you the racist KKK niggas that came from war and are on drugs that we've been giving you." Right? They got an army of themselves. We give them an armory, and they got their own army. That's what we're gonna put in your community, right? So it's the same thing with the attorney general, the DA, prosecutor, so on and so forth. They want the most racist motherfucker that they can find. Does not matter what their color is. If it's lighter, it's better because the class system is still there. So the meritorious manumissions is still in effect, and you intertwine that with what is that shit called? Affirmative action. The one or two black people that are hired are trying to see or receive their manumissions. This is how they get the job. Let me see your resume. Do you have a history of anti-black behavior? That's the only way you're going to get this job. Oh, you do? Okay, you prosecutor, put a lot of niggas in jail. All right, cool. Okay, I like that. Lawyer, all right, lost all your cases. Okay, plead down every case. I like you. I like you. You're hired. You gotta have a background of anti-black behavior, anti-black exploitation, so on and so forth. And she fit the bill. And she sucked enough dicks to get where she is. Excuse my language, y'all. For those who are listening and hold me in high regard, a word or two that you're not gonna like is gonna slip out. But brutal times calls for brutal language. She sucked a lot of penises, y'all. I just want y'all to know. She's not an ugly woman. I'm not a hater. I give respect due. She's not an ugly woman. So I'm sure back in the day she was a little vixen, you know. She had the old brother uh that was kind of pimping her out. He was like an old lawyer or prosecutor or whatever like that. Do y'all remember who that dude was that she was fooling with back in the day? She was fooling with this old Negro. And, you know, he was doing things for, made her a little, um, what is it? He had a little 501c3 for her. This is what they do with the little 501c3 grants. There's a lot of stuff that gets done behind closed doors where decisions is made, deals are being made, and then when they come out to the public, the community like that don't make any sense. Like, I mean, a child could have made the right decision in that. They know that. They got the palms greased, and this dude made this fake 501c3 for her, gave her like $60,000 or $70,000, had a fake building. All she had to do was show up a couple hours a week. So a lot of times she didn't show up for months on end. You know what I'm saying? She was a little hoe. So he had, he's an old nigga. He was on his way out. I think he died years ago. I can't remember the dude's name. Y'all help me out with that. Some old nigga looked like Clarence Thomas. But that's just, you get old and you may either you married and your wife is old and ugly too, and you old and ugly, and you hold a high office and you're a Negro. You got access to all this funds and all this money and whatnot, and you ain't trying to give it to black people. You don't give a fuck about black people, so you trick it off. The hell with the community, the hell with the roads that need to be done and the programs that need to be financed and so on and so forth. No, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna find. Oh, she's fine. Come here, come here. It's like Laylo Brown. Y'all remember Laylo? Y'all know how I am with my movies. Y'all gotta get your movie game up when you're listening to me. Y'all know how I am with my movies. Laylo Brown from Barbershop 2. Slivy, Slimery, Alderman from Chicago. That's all the motherfuckers is. Get their little envelope full of cash. They had a little young thing come in the office and hit them with them Don King words. My dear, the decisions of decimating Deuteronomy is dictatorial in its dictation. And so I have you here to accommodate my intuitions, specifically the clitoris of yours, which I like to, how do I say, have it on my nose. The sister got 3 kids, got all types of yams. Shout out to Big Job. For the younger folks, yams is a big old ass. And she just trying to make a way for herself. And he an old dude, and she got daddy issues. Cool. All right. You gonna trick off on me? Okay. And she tricked her way right to the top. She tricked her way right to the top, man. See, what Neely Fuller was talking about was the one thing about white supremacy, everything else will confuse you if you do not understand white supremacy. The video that was playing earlier, he talked about our army. Our army is the brothers on the streets who are only interested in cocking bad against other black people, right? So they're big and strong and they bucks. They slaves in front of the master, beating each other to death so that they can live, get some African tail, and maybe get a beer and a pat on the ass by the master. And so what? Another brother who could help you liberate your people completely is dead on the ground. It don't matter. It don't matter. The master is happy. And that's all that matters. The master is happy. All hail to the master. All hail Joe Biden. All hail Joe Biden. And so now we have this Indian, black, mulatto, brown skin, paper bag, blue vein, society ass, lynx woman as the vice president. And my wife was sending me some pictures that she ever seen on the internet uh, in regards to Kamala and how it's propagated that she is basically a savior of sorts. She's the first, the Negroes are still the first, this, that, and the third. He's the first. Hello, y'all. This is Jeremiah Covington. He's the first um, district attorney of Wisconsin, the first black district attorney of Wisconsin. Black History Month, y'all. Share, share, share. Go through the comments. Praise Jesus. Go ahead, y'all. We winning. Shout out to you, you stupid niggas. It's the same thing when people post, I got the job, y'all. 400 comments, 300 likes, 54 shares. You niggas are still happy to work for the master? And you praise the motherfucker who works for the master. But the motherfucker says, hey, I'm free. I broke my chains. I'm starting my own business. And I'm living off my business. What's up, y'all? 6 comments, 12 likes, a half a share. Same thing. That's slave mentality. So she's the first black woman to be vice president. Oh, snap. Now, we already did away with this chick, man. This is American politics. This is Negroism. We destroyed Joe Biden. We destroyed Kamala Harris. They disappeared. Then they resurrect these motherfuckers like they wasn't there, like we didn't destroy them already. Like Kamala Harris didn't say, I'm not gonna do nothing for black people. No, no. You niggas ain't getting shit for me. You get my used tampon. Well, wait a minute. I don't wear tampons no more. I'm old. I have what's that thing called? Uh yeah, I can't have children no more. I'm barren. That time is come and gone. My time is come and gone. I can no longer have children. But if I did have a used tampon, I would give that to you niggas. Because that's how much I hate you. I hate you with a passion. That's how I got this job. So she can front, and her and Corey Booty can front and be in front of people and talk bad, but then when you pin them in and you say, hey man, what about reparations? So thank you for that's a good question. Well, you know, we have problems with racism. We've had 400 years of oppression, and we have season camps, and we've had genocide campaigns, and we have Jim Crow and segregation, and the wealth gap, and so on and so forth. So what I'm gonna do is give money to everybody so that it'll help you niggas disproportionately, right? Right? That's a solution, right? That's the shit that she says. They say a bunch of words and throw it together, man, and to be in an interview like them niggas from Black Lives Matter. Y'all remember that bullshit they was doing? They would roll up on Hillary Clinton. Like you can roll up on a presidential candidate like that and not get your head shot the fuck off. So it's all over the internet, y'all. Look it up. Black Lives Matter roll up on Hillary Clinton. They did it like 2 or 3 different times. They just rolled up on her like, what you gonna do for black people? What you gonna do? And she acts surprised. Oh, niggas. What you gonna do for black people, Hillary? Or what do y'all want? Shit. Did you know she was gonna? I didn't think she was gonna answer. I didn't either. You got something? What you want? I really don't know. I didn't think we'd get this far. All right, Hilly, we'll be back. But in the meantime, think about what you're gonna do for black people. Fucking first, man. Fucking first. This is the games they play with you, man. Look up the Bernie Sanders. This motherfucker 166 years old. These old devils. They keep finding these old devils. Why these devils don't die, man? He doing the speech. Some big ass mammy dyke roll up there, take the mic, and just yelling in the mic. We need to be stop stop persecuting us and killing us in the street. We want justice. He's sitting back there smiling. And you be like, yeah, shout out to that sister. Shout out to that sister. And what do we get the 4 years later? Cardi B interviewing Bernie Sanders. They couldn't find a white. They couldn't even find a black business to do with it if she really black, which she ain't. But if you're gonna play the game, if you're gonna fuck with us, let somebody else get some bread other than you. I played that whole video on the show I did about Bernie Sanders. He ain't it. I went in on his ass. Oh, I went in on him. 2 hour show. I was tired as hell, but I went in on his ass. Because black people be loving on motherfuckers. You love on the devil, I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna destroy him. I'm gonna destroy him. People scared to go at the devil. What makes you more unique than anybody else with your network? We go at the devil. We go at the devil and we call him the devil. Devil, 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 devil. This is like a roller coaster ride, y'all. You know, roller coaster rides you get on and shit, you scared to death. You're like, oh. But you're grown, so you can't really do all that. So you say, hey kids, how you doing? And if you got a date, you grab your date hand and you scared. Then that shit say, choo, choo, ah! That's what we are. It don't last long. You go down, ah, come up. That's what we are. Just the dip, come back up, a couple minutes is over with. You can't be on a roller coaster for 10, 15 minutes, man. People pass out, die, have heart attacks. You sue the hell out of that part. You know what I'm saying? So it's quick. Zoop, like Muhammad Ali said, real quick. Zoop, like real quick. Zoop, real quick. Zoop. Then you're like, damn, that wasn't so bad. It wasn't. It wasn't. So the Democratic Party repackaged this woman we killed. They got the cadaver out the ground. You know what they believe in? Resurrecting people, cloning people. You know what I'm saying? Acting like they wasn't dead in the first place. What are you talking about? He wasn't dead. She didn't die. What do you mean? The real black media didn't destroy her. They didn't pull out all her skeletons. You know? No. She's good. Black people can't do nothing when these devils get involved. Remember the verses? When the verses started, it was organic. Brothers was on Instagram talking, and all of a sudden they just started going bar for bar. All of a sudden, yo, it's like, oh, I like this. It's tight. When the next verse is coming out? This is dope. I like this. You know what I mean? When the next verse is coming out? Well, no. And then now we started pairing things up and all that. You see, gone are the days when you had to pitch an idea. You had to pitch an idea to the dominant society and say, hey, I want to do this. I need some funding. You know, it's a great idea. I put my whole life into it. They're like, I don't know. I don't know. White folks ain't gonna like it. I don't know. Nowadays, niggas just do it. Just be creative, go live, and make it pop. Then the crackers come knocking at your door. Hey man, we want to advertise it. We saw your video. We want to add some other things to it. We think we can make it great. And before you know it, on the verses, when it was popping, because we got all the best artists, wasn't nobody trying to see a verses for no crackers? Because they got no natural talent. They gotta be in them damn. They gotta sing and then go into the, the computers and the machines and take the audio and change it and all that other bullshit. We doing it on our phones, Instagram Live. Give me a song, y'all. Jay, I ain't a singer though. Sing. The niggas started. They had their band in the background and shit. You know what I'm saying? They had to get the drums right. Hey, they was having a whole concerts and shit. And, you know what I'm saying? Millions of people was watching. And before you know it, here Kamala Harris ass. Now she on the verses. Now she trying to get the people to vote. Sell out. because Monica and Brandy ain't had a hit since Ike hit Tina. Shout out to Ike. Shout out to Ike. May peace be upon him. And actually, since Tina hit Ike, to be honest with you, that's really the story about that. But that's another time. So they come in your hey, we got money. You know you niggas love money. Brandy and Monica, I know y'all made a lot of money in your lifetime. You on movies, you got hit singles. Your catalog is the shit. Hey, listen, I know the hey, the catalog, the rights, huh? I know that's coming up. We could make sure that you get it and don't end up like Michael Jackson and Prince. You know we know all about that. I can't tell you, I can't give you no more than that. You know, then I have to kill you. But listen, do us a favor, and maybe probably we'll think about sending an email of some sorts to the guy that own your rights to all your catalogs and all your songs. Come on now, make an offer you can't refuse. And so this ugly bitch, I said she wasn't ugly. I'm sorry, my bad. But she ugly because she's an ugly person. You see what I'm saying? And Big Cheese, to touch on that briefly, that was a whole farce on Ike Turner. Ike Turner wasn't really like that. He was never like that. He was never a dude that would smack people up and all that shit. He was good. He was good, brother. So you talking about the business part of the thing, absolutely. In terms of Ike Turner, how he handled his business, and they flipped on his ass. It's actually Tina that was the devil. But again, that's another story. Because I don't want to lose my sight on this bitch, Kamala Harris. And that's what I called her. So we got to start calling these people out. The devil and his mistress. Look look, even in Django, at least she was fine. Now, Kamala old, but to old white man, she fine as hell. Because the old white man got to pay a whole lot of money to get young black sisters, right? You know what I'm saying? And usually times that don't really work out too well because they small in all areas of activity. You know what I'm saying? The sisters tell me stuff. You mean about it? A word? Tell me all about that cracker. I want to know. I don't want to know about Tayshawn and T-Shawn and all that. To tell me about the crackers. Well, they don't like their mothers, and they fight their wives, and they're very small when it comes to the bedroom. Are they now? Yeah, they can't handle it. Is that right? Hot damn. So they go on and talk about there's a myth of the sexual potency and the virility of the black man. Well, that's a myth. He's not really that big. Okay. Oh, you feeling some type of way, white man, huh? Because you got a small jammy, that little Vienna sausage in your pants. That's why you act the way you do. So you got to pay a motherfucker to say it's big, ain't it? Here, take another 1,000. It's big, ain't it? Yeah. When you look, put the light on it, and you squint your eyes, it's kind of. Give me another 1,000. It's big. See, I'm broke. I ain't got to pay nobody nothing. That's all I'm gonna tell you. That's all y'all need to know about Mr. X. That's all y'all need to know. Well, let's get into Kamala Harris. Let's get into it. Y'all share. Kamala, mala, 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 mala. Now, Kamala, evil ass, hates niggas. Let's just be. Let's get to it. Because I don't want to be on too long. I want to be done probably by 4:20. So Kamala doesn't like black people, right? And so when we talk about racism, right? What do we talk about? Prejudice plus power. We talk about you not liking me and then me having the means to make your life a living hell, right? To say in the Constitution that if you're America, you can live as a human being, right? You can live as a human being. You get all the things and rights and things of a human being. But the reality is, I'm going to keep you from getting those things because I'm a white supremacist, and this is a white supremacist society, and these people put this on paper, right? This is a society for white people, and the excelling of white people by the detriment of blacks. Right? We know that all the old devils got together in rooms and made sure this shit was going to be put in action and to keep resources from black people, right? And so in this intricate system, you have to have people understand if the majority of the planet is black, for a small majority, small minority to hold down the vast majority, there has to be complicity from non-white peoples. All right, I don't want to confuse myself. Let me say that again because I ain't had no water. I got to hydrate myself. For the majority of the planet to be of melanated bodies, and for the tiny minority to hold down the majority, most must be complicit. Kamala is not a white woman, but in her mind, she's a white woman. So when you see somebody, brothers and sisters, and you see they got African blood in them, and you say, are you black? They say, no, I'm just they not. Because they're going to say some ethnic backgrounds that's quite obviously African. But to go through that whole process to say, yeah, you a black person, then treat them like they the black person on your level. No. You not black? Okay, nigga, you not black. You a foe. I'm not going to treat you as a black person. Just understand that. When you say you not black, you are very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. So this Attorney General, California, gave police officers the opportunity to use the body cams in their own discretion. Now remember the murders that was happening on the streets. And Barack Obama came up with this great idea, body cams, we need body cams. And in my ignorance, in my love of Barack Obama, I said, that's a great idea. Hell yeah. Body cams. Now the devils, they can't beat us up and people will just have to take their word for it and file a report and no one's going to testify. So now that we got the footage, we'll be sure to catch them in the act, right? Forgetting all about Rodney King. Forgetting all about that. So you got cameras there, so they just shoot people randomly or roll up on it all on camera. We good. Man, how stupid was I? Man, how stupid was I? Nigga. They killing niggas on camera. Point blank. Hey, okay, take your hands slowly. Take the gun out. Present it so I can see it. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. Do. Got it all on camera. Giving conflicting orders. Then blowing the motherfucker away point blank with his kids in the car. He gets off. It's all on camera. It's all on camera. He get off. Kamala Harris, right? So I don't believe that officers should be obligated to utilize the given equipment to effectively do their jobs. I think they should have the personal wherewithal to either use it in their own discretion or not. This is political talk when they just say a bunch of nothing. And the police unions that back her, right? Because we complain and police unions put their money together and buy the DAs and the attorney generals and so on and so forth. Especially the president. They make sure they get everybody. They scrape together money to get every fuck body. If you got a political officer, any type of position that can prosecute them or put them in jail when they do their job and killing niggas, they gonna grease you up. Okay? They gonna fuck your mother. They gonna do something where you're compromised. Okay? Where you won't act for the greater good of the people. So she's just a bunch of nothing, meaning she's for the police. You see what I'm saying? Let me share my screen again real quick. I want to take a quick commercial break. Tend to my youngin. Got tend to my youngin. What's going on? What's going on here? I don't know if this thing is working right now. My youngin is acting up real quick. I want to make sure I remember exactly where I was. Make me wanna shout, baby. Exciting. Nah, I'm not a singer, y'all. But I just now just like to sing. That's one of my things. Let me see. A little girl acting crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Anytime you
So I'm gonna be right back.
the political party that controls
Listen to Malcolm one more time. I'm gonna be right back. We're taking a quick
Of
commercial
the
break.
government
We're talking about the
that
devil,
party
Kamala
can't
Harris.
keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you are dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
Man, he wants you to remain a boy. He wants you to remain a lackey. He wants you to remain dependent on him. He wants you to come looking to him for some kind of advice or some kind of teacher. No, you teach yourself and stand up for yourself and respect yourself and know yourself and defend yourself and be yourself, and you'll be recognized as an intelligent person.
Whites can help us, but they can't join us. There can be no black-white unity until there is first some black unity. We cannot think of being acceptable to others until we have first proven acceptable to ourselves. Concerning nonviolence, it is criminal to teach a man not to defend himself when he is the constant victim of brutal attacks. There are problems in the community. Some of those examples of those problems are the vices that destroy the moral fiber in our community. Drunkenness, drug addiction, prostitution, organized crime that robs the Negro community of probably 90% of its economic potential and moral potential.
Once you change your philosophy, you change your thought pattern. Once you change your thought pattern, you change your attitude. Once you change your attitude, it changes your behavior pattern. And then you go on into some action. As long as you got a sit-down philosophy, you'll have a sit-down thought pattern. And as long as you think that old sit-down thought, you'll be in some kind of sit-down action. They'll have you sitting in everywhere. It's not so good to refer to what you're going to do as a sit-in. Then right there, it castrates you. Right there, it brings you down. What goes with it? Think of the image of someone sitting. An old woman can sit. An old man can sit. A chump can sit. A coward can sit. Anything can sit. Well, you and I have been sitting long enough, and it's time today for us to start doing some standing. And some fighting and things like that.
All right, brothers and sisters, I'm back. Peace to y'all. Peace to y'all. I don't know if y'all can see the actual thing or not, but everybody stayed here, so I'm sure the volume was popping. And y'all are used to us having technical difficulties and having like 2 or 3 minutes of silence while we try to get back on the site. I appreciate y'all. Y'all the best chat room and all the YouTube. And we want to grab all the other YouTube and flood our numbers so we can do some real work, man. And Brother Keith was talking about this the other day, about sharing emails so that we can help one another. And I totally agree. And that's something I actually have to do locally because I did not like that our children were being fed by devils and coons were helping them do it, you know. And certain things are talked about on social media, and people talk about the thousands of dollars that they have, but all that money could have went together to buy some rice, get some vegetables, you know, make mass plates, or for a week or two cooking and have our young folks come in and get meals and things like that, and we could do it for ourselves and post those images and post those videos so that others can see, hey, this is how you handle things when your community is in this absolute despair, that, you know, we have each other's back. It's possible. We've done it before. We can do it. No one else is going to come. Those who get rich off being black, off the back of the impoverished entity, the masses of our people, they are nowhere near the black community when this thing started. They went out there with those white folks, and I see them, brother. I seen brothers and sisters. I'm gonna tell you how bad self-hate is. This black woman who's homeless and is mentally impaired. I've seen her around the city, walking around, talking to herself. And one day she was sitting at a table, not a table, I'm sorry, y'all, a bench. And I pulled over and watched. And white folks came past her because she's usually only in the areas where there's white folks. So she's not that mentally impaired. She presumes that she's safe in these areas. So she's across the street from a hospital. And I sit there and I just observed. And white person after white person come past her and she asks them for money. Now, I'm a bit of a hard ass. I usually don't give black men that are homeless money. I'm actually thinking about doing something with them or for them. And I know the best thing that you can give our brothers is their mind back. Any money or resources that you give them, they give it right back or they're destroyed because they don't have the mental capacity to do the right thing with it. So that it's a more of a sustained thing. That once I give it to them one time, they can do what they need to do and get back on their feet, right? But women, I have a softer spot for, and so I come out my pocket and give them money. And so I sat and watched. And I got a couple dollars, got out the car, and I walked up to her, and I was saying to her, every time I see you, I'm gonna try to give you some money. And I went to hand it to her, and she said, "No, I don't want it." I said, "What?" She said, "No, I don't want it." I said, "You sure?" She said, "No." So I got back in the car. I sat there for a second, and I watched. Another white person came by, and she asked them for money again. So we hate each other so much that you are tapped out on your ass, and you won't even take money from your own kind. You're only looking for money from white folks. Now, you can say it's a little shame that she's out there, and when someone black tries to give her some bread, she feels ashamed and it is worried or whatever have you. I'm not really sure what feelings is going through this woman's mind other than being homeless. And I swear I saw her about a month or so ago, pregnant, large belly and everything. And I don't know if she had that baby by her own volition, you see, because I watched her navigate around the city and she's having great conversations with nobody. She's talking, there's nobody there. She seemed pretty lucid when I walked up to her, but yeah, that's what we got going on around here, brothers and sisters. So I'm trying to get information for everybody, and obviously you got to take care of home first. So we got to work and get the resources, and then buy the rice, buy the canned vegetables and the seasons and water. Get the essentials just in case they try to do this long ass shutdown, which again is going to be difficult to do. There's certain jobs that have to be manned. I like to call it a transporter, and that's my job. So I may be essential worker, so I may still be out there. I don't necessarily care so much about this fake ass pandemic, but if I'm allowed to get on the streets, then I can maybe do some food runs and make sure people are straight. You know what I mean? So I like that part of it. And that's what we're gonna have to do. But anyway, getting back to the get back, I was talking about Kamala Harris and her disdain for black people. And while she was Attorney General in 2015, she decided she didn't want to support the citizens on forcing the police to wear the body cameras at all times. We went through that and I explained that pretty good, right? Then she's for the backing of the death penalty. Yes, brothers and sisters, any law that is created is an anti-black law. We don't get protected by any of these laws, and we don't get the benefit of any of these laws. So any law is an anti-black law. And all of them are disproportionately affect black people. The percentages are unbelievably high in regards to our numerical residents in North America and their numerical residents in North America. They outnumber us, however, the one. 45 to 50 million to 360 million, something like that, roughly estimated numbers, right? But if you look in the incarceration rates, look at the death penalties and so on and so forth, people who are pulled over and accosted by police officers, like the crackers be saying, you represent 13% of the population, but commit 15% of the crimes. I mean, you niggas are just criminals. And so they use these racist token points to say the death penalty must be upheld. Now, most of the United States is trying to get rid of it. She is for it. You commit a crime, a heinous crime, you die. Well, this woman has already set up or been a part of a setup of a brother who did no wrong and was prosecuted. She was involved in it. They had this brother in prison unjustly. That's how devilish she is. See, they get these people, man. You get the Bushes that, formulate the CIA and go to Nicaragua to get drugs and bring it back to the black community. And you got the brother, shout out to brother Rick Ross, the Rick Ross. He's right in the middle of that shit, getting the drugs for the people and all that, doing his thing, building his empire, and they throw his ass in jail. It's a game, man. This is what they do. The more devilish you are, hey, man, you can be president because I know you're going to enact some policies that's going to destroy black people. This is what this thing is really all about, brothers and sisters. I think this racial thing is heavier than what people think it is. Like, we can understand it, we interpret it, we read about it, we experience it, most importantly. But on some real ish, I think it's even more heinous than what we tend to think and believe. America cuts his nose to spite its face. Literally. The one correct statement that Kamala Harris made, Kamala, is that anything that will help black people will help America. We don't have an economic infrastructure. If money is given to us, we're going to give it right the fuck back to you, which in turn will empower the United States. Right? We will make shit pop and we'll hand it over to white folks. It's like, here, man, this is how you do it. I don't care if we don't get the credit. I got social media. I'll say I did it, and for a couple minutes it'll be up, and then you take the video down. But I can tell my homies, as long as I can tell my homies, I'm good. But the reality is, I want you to hold it anyway. I want you to be in control. And so if I can help a little bit to give you better control, I'll do that. This is the collective Negro talking about. Even when you deal with the 5% nation, whether you want to believe in what, the religions and all this other stuff, think about the numerical position of the 5% nation, which is the same as nation Islam, 85% deaf, dumb, and blind, 10% that control, and the 5% that are poor righteous teachers that are supposed to awaken the rest of the 85%. The 10% and the 5% are going after 85%. The 85% go at whatever go. I mean, we see our people. We know they're 85%ers. We know they are. I had this sister. I was, we were talking and we would build at work. And I would try to sit with different black people at lunch, and I was sitting with these two sisters, and this one sister was just so gullible. And it's me and these two sisters, and the one sister is telling her things. She's just lying, but she's like one of those liars that can tell a story, you believe it because just how convincing she is when she tells a story. So she's telling her all different types of stories about me. And the sister is a co-signer. She one of those co-signers that be like, every time you say something, I know that's right. Yup, you sure did. Whether she know the person or not. So this sister's like, yeah, he got 4 girlfriends and 2 in Atlanta and 6 other babies. You do? I knew it. I said, she lying, lady. And the other sister started laughing. She's like, oh, you got me. It's like, damn, you believe I got 4 other women and 3 other children? So I got 2 other children somewhere. But nah, that's not the point. The point is that you believed it. You didn't really know. You ain't even know me. We just having to build a discussion that's not personal about either one of us. We just talk about society. And off that, as I give you that information, a conversation you never had with another black man, You already presume I got 4 other girlfriends and I got 6 other children and all this. Like, God damn, they're 85%. Lady, you don't even know the lady that's talking across from you. You just met me and you believe that shit wholeheartedly. So off that experience, brother and sisters, I'm telling you, it's dangerous when people start telling malicious lies about you. They can just make up stuff. CIA used to do it all the time. Just make up shit. Look, if we can't find out, nigga, we make up something. Tell everybody like fucking 80-year-old white women. I don't know. With the diapers that can't control their bowel movements. Just put that out there. Let's see. Literally throw shit on the wall and see if it sticks. He likes to do that too. Just figure it out. Just figure it out. Just talk about it. And be convincing when you do it. Hoover, you look at the Hoover files, Hoover gave all his agents creative freedom to bust up black subversive groups in the United States. Do something about Malcolm X. Find hard-hitting evidence on this person and that person. Do what you got to do. Don't worry about whatever happens. I'll take care of that. So guys wasn't really, they said be creative, so it's like, nah, don't be creative. That don't mean roll up to the dude and shoot him in between the eyes. Nah, you can't do that. But have one guy fuck his girlfriend, which is an agent for us, because she's a prostitute out of New York. We shipped over to Pittsburgh, and she's screwing the chapter president there. And so whoever he's got a beef with, tell her to go over to his house and have sex with him. And then send a letter saying that's what occurred. And then the two of them will go at one another and kill each other off, or one to kill the other, which will split the chapter. The thing is, nobody knows about this woman, that she deliberately did it and that the state was behind the whole thing. In the newspaper, you just get two guys had a discrepancy ideologically about the party and the chapter, the direction of the chapter, and they shot each other dead. This is the shit that they would do. Yes, this is the shit that they would do. And she's the top cop. Remember, Kamala Harris is the top cop. Nigga, I'll lock your ass up. I'm the general, she says in her statements. I'm the general. As the general. And she like niggas doing prison labor. Prison labor. Brothers and sisters, prison labor is this is direct connection to the 13th Amendment. Your ass is free unless you commit a federal crime that we say is a federal crime. Whatever it is we decide to call it, that is federal crime. And you go into prison, your ass belong to us again. And you do what we say do. I ran into a young brother that I used to work with in Job Corps. If you guys are familiar with the Job Corps programs, most states have them. And he was a loud child. He's like 6'6", who needed a lot of attention. And it was like strange. It's like, dude, no one can miss your big ass. You're taller than me. You walk down the hallway to, yeah, fuck that nigga. You ever just have children walk past you, rapping the most heinous lyrics, loud as hell, so that everybody knows that they're there. Hey man, I see you. Well, that where that comes from. A little broken home, not very much attention from the parents and stuff like that. I have to remember to do that to my daughters, so that they don't seek attention in other ways. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't worked there since 2013, 2014. So I haven't seen him in a long time. I seen him one time in jail. I was on lockdown, y'all. I was on lockdown, everybody. A bunch of parking tickets or driving tickets. And so I happened to be in there fighting my ticket. And he brought him in there. They had chains and locks on his ankles and his wrists and all that. Like, damn. What this fool was doing, he was driving the car without no license and without no insurance. He just driving. Because he had got some settlement money and he was balling out, and he spent all the settlement money. I think it was like $100,000 on weed and women and a bunch of bullshit. So anyway, I see him and I said, "What's up, man?" He said, "Yeah, I just got out." Again. So I ain't going back this time. The COs are killing black people in the prisons. I know I'm appalled too, baby. I am appalled too. I am. He said, no, they're killing black people in the prisons. And I was like, yeah, that COVID thing. Can't nobody, they're hiding behind them COVID regulations with nobody in, nobody out, and you can't contact your loved ones. So they just going ham. And this is the local jail he was in. So this is secondhand information. I guess you can call it, yeah, secondhand information. I didn't see it, so that'd be firsthand. But he's seen it. And so he's giving me the 411. And they can have this thing. I mean, there's a lot of diabolical things that you can do with this whole COVID regulations that they're hiding behind, you know. You can literally cut the population down 3 or 4% just with prison deaths. They could just say, hey, man, you can't come in here. It's hot. We'll take regulations, social distance, and all that craziness. And they just start offing niggas and say they died of COVID-19. We know that's happened. But with the numbers, quote unquote, spiking, and Mayor Lightfoot in Chicago, Mayor Dykefoot, shutting down Thanksgiving and telling people don't visit houses and whatnot. You know how that go. You know where these devils gonna be at in Chicago with the Ultra Force, making sure people follow the guidelines of the COVID regulations she have created for the city so that the numbers will go down. This is for the importance of the health of the people. That shit is so contradictory. Brothers is dying, getting shot up by who knows what out there. But she talking about some COVID, got the mask on, social distance from everybody, with her shoes and her long ass man pants, baggy ass 1996 Michael Jordan after the game pants. All her suits look like Jordan gave it to her from '96. All the suits he wore after the games in '96, he gave it to her. Cause she all of 5'3", so the shit is just hanging off her. Man, shit is crazy. But anyway, Kamala, what was I talking about with Kamala? Kamala, oh yeah, the prison labor. So the brothers are out there working. One, taking jobs other black people can have that are on the outside. That have families, that commit the crime. Now we can go back and forth about the crimes and stuff like that. You have actual brothers who have committed heinous crimes that probably need to be in there because they're beyond retribution, mental or physical, psychological retribution, right? They're pretty much beyond that. But you got those dudes working out there. Shout out to the brothers who didn't commit any heinous, violent crimes and are in there because of the system of white supremacy. Now we want them brothers out. You know, you can cut it up like that. Those who got a little weed and them get 5 to 10 years because of the system of white supremacy. They got jobs and they got no real legal representation or proper legal representation. And the judge is on a take and he's selling niggas the prison industrial system because we know that's occurred. A couple judges got caught doing that, and they can get a fair wage for doing the work that they're doing. They have brothers out there fighting those fires. Shit, in the middle of the fire, nigga, I'm out. There's no way you can catch me. I'm out. Nigga, I'm gonna take my chances with the fire. And I got my little water hose. I'm gonna spray the guards, run into that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Be out. This brother's bitch should have broke out. I mean, a fire. You going into a fire. Listen, y'all, this is what we're gonna do. Then we're gonna go near, we're gonna maneuver them near a tree that's on fire, and then we're gonna mistakenly spray them, right? And then run into the woods. We'll be all right. We got the air masks. Then keep some water ducks. Nigga, we gonna be all right. But anyway, my little girl, she's so pretty. You're so pretty, baby. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And so, you went to pass by? Okay. And so These guys are out there working for pennies on a job like they're in Guatemala or somewhere, like they're in Mexico somewhere, risking their lives for little to no money. And they contract them out. This is this Shawshank Redemption. Y'all seen y'all? Come on, y'all know. I told y'all about the movies, man. Y'all gotta be down with the movies. I'll pull a movie on your ass real quick. Shawshank Redemption. Big Cheese. Where G-Man? Y'all remember? Y'all seen it? Where Lando at? Lando, where you at, bro? Shawshank Redemption. That cracker was killing it. He was taking all the contracts. Free labor. It was 100% profit. Take your ass out here and do these roads. Let me get that money up off you. And people had to break. People was like, listen. I got a construction business. And, you know, if I don't get this contract, sir, my business is going to go under. My wife's going to leave me. Listen, my wife made this pie for you, you know, because we really need that contract. And I'm happy for your success. Take this pie here as a gesture of our respect and love for what you're doing. He took that pie, looked at the envelope. You know, this cracker seen a lot of money, so he guessing that was about 10, 15,000. All right. Tell your wife, thank you for the pie. Wink, wink. Bless you, sir. He just gave him a contract. That's the cold shit I be telling y'all about. We got to watch what these devils do. It was one devil bequeathing to the next devil. Meanwhile, black people are the slave labor. We're not getting none of this money. We're getting exploited. So as we like the movie for it being a good movie, and, you know, what's his name? What's that motherfucker's name? You know, the black dude that do all the, he did the whole moderating the entire movie. What's his name? He's still living today. Talking about how you gonna get over racism, just stop talking about it. He played God in movies and shit, and the president. And that's a safe ass Negro. What's his name, y'all? Come on, help me out. Now I gotta go and stop and look for the dude's name. Morgan Freeman. Yes, Morgan Freeman. He playing the coon in that motherfucker. Andy Dufresne, my good friend. I left prison legally while he escaped. I didn't want to escape with him. I just got out on parole and immediately went to see him. My good friend. I got it now, this y'all man late. Thanks though. My good friend, Andy Dufresne. This nigga was a coon all the way to the end of the movie. He found his master. He went looking for his master. He said, "Fuck this whack ass apartment and this supermarket. I'm gonna go find me my white man friend and be with him. I couldn't get me, you know what I'm saying, trying to get my life together and read some literature and get me a sister and get married. I still got some, maybe a 35, 40-year-old, you know, have a child or something like that, leave my seed on the planet. I'm gonna find my white man. Hey, don't you be coughing now. Don't you go down on me now." But that's what it was. And she was in charge of all that shit because, you know, these private prisons, right? They put money in on the books. Y'all gotta see. A lot of this shit, she could care less. But the people on the top, that is for-profit prisons, for-profit private prisons, are giving her money, campaign kickbacks, cash allotments. So when this comes up, she is pro prison labor. They invest in a long-term business. Throw her $25,000, $35,000, $50,000. Shit, take 100. It's a multi-million-dollar business. So yeah, I kick down to you. Black lives matter. Yeah, they matter in my grand scheme of things. I need these niggas digging ditches for free, and they just happy to be outside. See, they're not letting the revolutionary niggas do the jobs on the outside. These are the docile niggas that been broken already. good behavior and all that good shit. Shout out to my brothers if they listening, man. No disrespect, but this is the reality of it. So they take y'all outside knowing nothing's gonna happen. You do your job, you come on back, you just happy to be outside. Y'all saw the movie, remember? It was up there drinking brews, hanging out, enjoying the sunlight, putting tarp on the goddamn roof. You know what I'm saying? Andy Dufresne doing the books. Andy Dufresne doing the books. Love that movie, man. There's so many movies I had to reevaluate, man. That sucked. This bitch is evil, man. The dude that she tried to lock up, even with DNA. This is what white supremacy, what Neely Fuller talks about. White supremacy is because I said so. Hey, this ain't the guy. This is the wrong guy. He didn't do it. We got DNA evidence suggesting that he did not do it. He wasn't even in the scene. We got some DNA from somebody else. This ain't him. Nigga, I said it was him. I said it was him. This the nigga I want to go to jail. And he gonna go to jail. And if you don't want your mouth, you gonna go to jail. Up, nigga. You on your own. I tried to get you out. I tried to work it out. I can't help you. I'm Jerry Stevensburg, the Jew lawyer. You know, we always got Jew lawyers. I tried to get you out, sir. Remember to tell everybody about me, that I'm a good lawyer and I really tried to work on your behalf. But they're playing hardball here. Me and some Jews got at your ass, and it's a Jew thing. You know, she can't threaten no Jew, but the other Jews, they listen, fall back. Fall back. We got something bigger going on here. And they go back to the black man. Listen, I tried, sir. The evidence is compelling that you were absolutely not at the scene of the crime when the crime took place. But they say you got you. They say they got 2 witnesses that have you there at 4:47 p.m. March 23rd, 2000, whatever. I don't know, sir. I don't know. What can the dude do? He ain't paying for it. He's an innocent man. Most of the majority of our people broke. We talk about economic wherewithal. We talk about the economic gap between white and black. That'll take us 60 years or some shit if they just stayed where they are right now, and we continued forward the way we are. It'd take 268 years to catch up. So you think this brother got money? Why black people be acting like they got bread like that? Niggas gotta stop fronting. We broke. That's why we in this position anyway. Like, we broke and we need resources. But you ask every individual black person, shit, I'm good. I got mine. I'm good. Okay. All right, nigga. All right. Remember that. Remember you said that. I got bread. I'm good with mine. All right. Oh, okay. Okay. Everything is an individual race. And that's what I was trying to say with Lightberry. We are of the masses of our people. I cannot think individually. I know everybody has to do their own atonement, reconciliation, accountability, and improve your own individual life, your emotional stance, your spiritual stance, your political stance, your economic stance. Do whatever you got to do. But in wartime, the cracker who practices incest, has children with his first cousin, can't complete a sentence, he has a gun and he hates niggas. And if he see a nigga, when he's told, he's going to shoot. What was that cracker's name that went down and killed 19 people of our people in that church? Dylan Roof? Did he look like he had all his sense? Did he look like he was spiritually correct? Of course he was. He was spiritually correct with the devil. He is a devil, and he acted as a devil, and he took the lives of the light people of the earth. So we have to get serious about this thing. And one thing we got to get serious about is telling our people the truth about these elected officials. The whole shit is a farce. But let's make it plain for him here with the individual. Let's go through the resume of said persons and explain it. This is what I talk about, the astute political education. No matter whom you listen to, make sure they're giving you a political education. So when you cast your vote or your vote, know what the hell you're casting and know why you're casting. Know what you're doing. And when you see, it's like, who we choose from? Exactly. Now you got to get creative. Go deeper. I can't do the thinking for you. But ultimately, just like when you have children and they don't pay attention or listen or do what you tell them, what do? You smack them in the back of the fucking head. So, you hire a politician and they're not doing what you want them to do, you smack them on the back of the head. Somebody smacked the shit out of Kamala. Now put Montell in here. It's like, I put that dude in there just to put it in there. You know, she did it Montell. Like I said, she was a freak nasty. She did the thing. I really don't care about none of that. I don't really get in people's personal business like that. Whoever she wants to fuck, whoever she wants to fuck. But Lucy had to deal with the politics. Like I said, she was dealing with a politician at some point in time to rise up. So it didn't matter for what Judge Joe said, and the other brother is familiar with her and her exploits in California, followed her career, and knew some people she dealt with. So you bouncing from dick to dick, that means you're a mercenary. Can she be bought by us? I don't know. Usually, like I said, actions and psychological position when it comes to black people. I am not one of you niggas. Hey, don't be screaming at me. I am not one of you niggas. Don't bring me no money. I don't want your money to do something for black people or not throw black people under the bus or in jail. That's what I do. I throw you under the bus and in jail. As a matter of fact, I run over you with the bus, then I throw you in the jail dead in the motherfucker. Just like they used to do in the slave plantation and in the slave ships. Your ass is dead in bondage. And then we like, oh, 3 days later, oh, this nigga stink. Oh, he's dead. We must do something with him. Burn the body. That's what she is. And I know Keith and Spice are gonna deal with this. We talked about it briefly. These vaccines, and these trial vaccines. They're gonna just try on us. Bill Gates' wife talked about more niggers need to do. We have to get the niggers involved. Niggers are not wanting to participate, and we need them as guinea pigs. We need them. They're the guys on the planet. They have the melanin. You try everything on God to see what happens. Then we get the little white mouse, the albino mouse that represents us, and we try it on him after the effects of putting it on the melanin people first. We try them first. Then when it's as effective as it's going to be, then we try it with white folks. And so this is going to be interesting, man, because they're going to push this shit hard. They're going to push this shit hard when these motherfuckers get to office. We got 3 months to figure out what we're going to do. We at least got to talk about it, if nothing else. People are scary, man. But with this going on, they have no choice but to deal with the race problem. We have got to shine in this moment. We have got the information. We have got to do the research. We have got to give it to them strong. Fuck these COVID regulations, man. This is it, man. They trying to eradicate us. Well, I did my time, y'all. I thank y'all for hanging out with a brother. You know what I'm saying? I got to change my baby diaper and straighten up the house a little bit for my wife to go home. Then I got to do a shift, man. We be working out here. You dig? I thank y'all for hanging out. Again, like I always say, donate to the network so that we can continue to build the network. as great as it should be and can be. We need the media. At one point, maybe we may be shut off. My brother Irritated Genie, they cut his shit all off just on a skate swipe slash. His videos is down, his Facebook is down, it's everything, Twitter, everything gone. So when they start doing that, they're making their moves. My brother Irritated Genie was going in on it. That was my brother. That was my man. So we probably next, because we don't let up at all. You know what I'm saying? So stop screaming at me. I got to tend to my little girl. Thank y'all for hanging out with a brother for an hour and a half. I'm out. Peace.